Grylls, and I am here with Grylls at Chalk Talk. Well, thank you for having me on the show, Veronica. So Bear, how was it like to reach the summit point of Mount Everest? Well, to reach the summit of Mount Everest, it was very, very, very cold, and I couldn't breathe up there. And it was just incredible view, even though I couldn't see past my hands. What or who inspired you to climb such a high point? Well, my dad, he took me to little foothills at the age of 7, and he used to belay me, and I used to go up to the top and he used to boulder up. And he inspired me because he told me I could do it. How old were you when you wanted to climb Mount Everest? Well, I was about 9 years old because I remember my dad told me, he gave me a picture that I put up right next to my bed, and it said, "I can do it." And it had a picture of Everest right there. And ever since I had that poster, I've always wanted to climb Mount Everest. Were you ever afraid to climb Mount Everest? Well, yeah, actually I was a bit intimidated because I remember my friend, he called me and he asked me, "Bear, do you want to climb Mount Everest?" And I'm like, that's not a question, just ask someone. That's an intense question. I mean, I said, yeah, of course, it's always been my lifelong childhood dream, and I've always wanted to do it. Who did you go climbing with while on Everest? I went with a whole group of my friends, an expedition of people, and I remember this my buddy's, his sister, she died in an avalanche attack up there, and we were very sad because she was a very nice lady, but we went with a bunch of people. What inspired you to start climbing such a huge summit? My dad did, because I remember he told me that I could, if I put my heart to something, that I could really do it, and I should not be afraid, because fear interferes with what you are doing, and if you are scared, then it'll just make you more nervous, and then that won't help you at all. But my dad, basically. Okay. How did it feel to summit the highest mountain in the world? Well, I felt very proud of myself for making it all the way to that huge summit, and I was never thought I could do it. I was about ready to give up because it was so tiring and freezing up there, but the way I wanted to come back was my girlfriend, Sarah. What was the best part about climbing Mount Everest? If I put my heart to something, that I could really do it, and I should not be afraid, because fear interferes with what you are doing. And the Himalayan people at the bottom of the mountain where they lived, how did they treat you? Very good question. I remember this one lady, this Himalayan lady, she went up to my friend because she knew that we were going to climb Everest, and she went up to my friend and she was like, "May I please have your autograph before you die at Mount Everest?" And I was like, and that gave me a huge chill. I was like, and he looked shocked as ever to ever have to encounter that sort of question. So we were quite nervous. Did you ever climb Mount Everest again? Oh, that's kind of an iffy question, because I don't know if I want to climb Mount Everest again, because, you know, it was really tall and I barely even knew I could make it up there and come back down alive. And I don't know, maybe, I suppose if someone really, really, really wanted me to climb it again, and I would. If one of my children wanted to go climbing Mount Everest, certainly I would go with them. That's awesome. Well, thank you for having me on the show, Veronica. It was quite a pleasure to be on here. Wonderful.